No, no, no. Like, you see, when the plant is fully grown, you get runes from it. So you form runes.
Sure.
It's really, albeit very straightforward. And hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rune Farming Simulator 1. So I got new glasses since the last episode, and I'm still getting used to them. See, look, runes. I did farming, and I got runes. Do, do, do. See, I got to spend some time with the family yesterday, so that was fun.
Family, huh?
Yes.
What are you, Vin Diesel?
Oh, boo you. Wait, why am I going over here to refill my water? Uh, yeah, my little brother, who famously really liked, was it the Reincarnate as a Sword story? I showed him the Frosthaven story I've been working on, and we put it through a word checker thing and found out that it's over 57,000 words. You know, just for something, just for some cute little thing I've been working on passively. Maybe I should put a link to it in all my YouTube videos so I might get a few more readers on it. Who knows? Okay, wait. RetroArch is being way, way, way too loud. Okay. And I sent you the stats that I have so far for that humanoid sheep PC. There isn't really much I can do to build on it, considering that for an anthropomorphic creature, if it's medium sized, it has 2 racial hit dice, so it's already level 2 at creation. Oh, right, right, right. In this episode, we get to go to the next dungeon. That's true. That'll be fun. What, know what else could potentially be fun? Harvesting all of this extra corn. What is it? Yeah, this one's fun. Alright, so what do we need stats wise? 30,000 more money, which we could very well potentially get from this corn harvest here, and 43 more stumps. Oops. No. gotta remember to brush all the sheeps. Then go over here and brush all these sheeps. Ooh, we can also trim the sheeps too. Get some wool, turn into some yarn. Yeah, unlike later Rune Factory games where monsters will drop their things basically every day, in this one you still had to go, it's like, okay, get the milker, get the shears, get the harvesting basket. Heck, this game, only certain monsters can even water your crops. Oh, speaking of going and watering crops,
Yes.
the monster just came out to start watering the crops. Do 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 do. Yeah, still all the small fur. Do 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 do.
Okay, so I found my mod manager for that I'm using for Fallout, and I can't tell if there's a way to just disable all the mods. I can disable them one by one. I just don't know if there's a way to just disable them all. That would be nice.
I know at least some games have a method that you can use to just like, hey, play this game without any mods. Stuff like Slay the Spy has that, but
Honestly,
I guess that game doesn't.
honestly, I think what I need to actually do is just finally bite the bullet and change my resolution of my computer to be something that's, has things larger,
Yes.
so that I can
So you
finally
haven't.
read what things are saying.
Yeah, you seem to have trouble reading things on the computer.
I mean, first of all, it doesn't help when this is orange background and white text. That's not
Sure.
a very easy to read color combination.
I still remember the first time I played Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. It was on console, for the record, but I wasn't playing it emulated for the first time. I was playing like the game demo. And the way I had my setup was I like gamed from bed, and my TV was like maybe 10 feet away from me, and the text really seemed to be made for a computer monitor. Like they wanted to be right in front of you, so it was like super tiny, and it's like, well, I can't read that from here. I don't care enough about the game to get up and like stand right in front of the screen to try to read what's going on. Like the setup worked for all of the other games, just not that particular one because reasons. Because the text was too small. Speaking of old games, you know what I really miss?
But
Being able to go to like EB Games or wherever and just like Walmart also used to have it, and just like the bulk uh, games bin. It's like, hey, look, here's a bunch of games at like $5 or less, and you could just dig through it, find maybe 2 or 3 games that looked good, and just get some new to you games. But like, I don't think I've seen that since like PS3, Xbox 360 days. I don't think I've ever seen PS4, PS5, or Switch games available for that cheap at like an EB Games or a GameStop or wherever. Other than like a thrift store, maybe. Like there's a GameStop in town that was selling like PS4 games, but for still like $20+ each. And it's like that is like the last console generation. Like back when PS3 was like before the PS4 came out, you could still buy PS3 games for like $5. What? So yeah. Yep. Oh, good. My woodcutting skill is being increased. Whatever would I do without woodcutting skill, huh? There's just one left, but whatevs. Alrighty. The farming monster decided it really wanted to water 2 extra plots of land, apparently. I guess I can allow it to.
I take it you are idly what do you call it? The whole thing with the farm in the other game.
Farming my Minecraft shulkers are just idling
That's
there,
what
yes.
Yeah, that one.
You forgot the shulkers, which, fine, whatever. But you forgot the name Minecraft.
I didn't forget the name. I was explicitly not saying it on your video.
Oh, yeah, I'm farming a shulker farm in Minecraft I made on the server. It's a big old machine, but whatevs. Only real reason to keep using it is to eventually get to the top of the balance leaderboard. I passed the halfway mark, so a few more idling sessions, I'll probably be there.
Well, remember to get far enough to also give me a bunch so I can be number 2.
Yeah, number one is already 8 billion. So,
Yeah.
what?
And?
So you asked me to reach, what, 17 or so billion? Like, I just want to be number one. Why can't you make yourself number 2?
Sorry, what?
You already got yourself up to, like, number 6 place. Why can't you just get yourself the rest of the way?
Well, I mean, if you're going to be, leaving Minecraft running while you're doing other things, keeping things going, I mean, I don't know. It just makes more sense for you to do it because you can do other things or do other things while
Yes.
leaving it running, whereas I don't. Like, the thing is, I think my computer probably could handle it, but I don't want to put that to the test.
Well, it's not like Minecraft is very intensive. Could just walk to the exit.
I mean, here's the thing. It definitely is more than you would expect.
I only have like 16 gigs of RAM.
As do I.
Oh, shoot. Oh, drat. I spent way too much time idly farming stuff. Drat.
Let me guess. Your container's filled up?
Oh, I think this is a festival day anyway, so it wouldn't necessarily matter.
Oh, you're talking about in Rune Factory.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't think you were idly. Didn't think you could idle in.
I'm not, but it's sort of like I just like go into an automated mode and just boop boop beep 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 boop. Just the beeping and the booping on the buttons. You know, as one does. But yeah, I was supposed to talk to the mayor today to get access to the next cave, and I forgot about that. So I guess I should go and do that tomorrow, but for today, actually, since I'm right next to the house anyway, yeah, I'm thinking today, maybe do a bit of grinding, but also go to the underground part of the mine and try to get more stumps there, because 38 more stumps, and I'm good, and then I have enough lumber to get a extended house. Also, Tabitha's starting to really like us. We have 12 monsters. Oh, right, cool. I had actually forgotten that I had left these like this for purposes of harvesting later on. Well, it's now time to harvest some more boons and also harvest a few sweet potatoes. Okay. Speaking of weird dreams, because you were speaking of weird dreams earlier, I had a dream where I was like went to some whatever store and they had like cards for different card games on sale. And I saw one from a card game that I had recognized. And it was like a 9-cost card. It's like shiny, it was like basically full art and just like the text like, "You win the game." It was like a $10 or $20 card or something, like when all of the other cards that seemed to be for that same game up for sale were like less than $1 each. Like, could you even just imagine a card game with just a card that's like, yeah,
Hello?
if I cast hello. Oh, have you just not been hearing me for the past 2 minutes?
I mean, I have been hearing you, I've just not been responding. Because you haven't said anything that needed a response.
Oh, because you just randomly said hello, and so I figured that you like lost connection again.
Oh, no, the reason I said hello is because you got disconnected and reconnected in Discord.
I did?
Yes.
Not on my end.
Well, on my end, it made the sound of someone else leaving the voice chat. Not the sound of me leaving the voice chat, but someone else.
I mean, my stream's still up, isn't it?
Maybe it was me. It's great, the stream is... I don't know, something refreshed. That's all I know.
Discord's being janky, yes. Yeah, could you imagine just like a card game where you just like, yeah, I play this card and it says that I just win? Like, people make jokes about it. It's like, oh, I played this card, this does blah blah blah, which does XYZ, and then I win. But it's like, no, just, I win the game. I think even in Magic, there's literally only one card with the effect of, like, if this card resolves, you win the game. And even that one is, you have to have a land of each basic land type and a permanent of each color. And then you win the game. And it's like 9 mana or something. And it's banned in Commander. Because that is just such a good and useful effect. Alright. I just need 33 more, like 32 more stumps done. That's it. It's almost midnight. So you can't get that many stumps left. Okay, I can try to get one last one. And hope that I can do this. Yep, and now just warp right back home. Teleport! Okay, so 30,000 money and 30 stumps to go. I think everything but the branches, so let me just. Go to Z bed. It's hoping for a rain day, but okay. like that you can just refill the watering can from any body of water. It doesn't specifically have to be the pond. So you can just go to the river right next to your farm and refill it from there. It's very useful. Okay, so what else do we have going on here? I definitely need to go through and edit a lot more Crystal Project videos, but we are reaching the end of that. I might throw in a few Fish Percent videos to keep that series going a little bit. But unless
I have a question for you. Did they officially make that like an official speedrun category for that?
I don't know. I don't go to speedrun.com.
Well, maybe you should.
Yeah. But, yeah, unless I start getting super into doing Fish Percent, I'll probably have to find some other game to play for, 50 plus hours to start uploading as a semi-daily series. Now, if the two of us could do, was it? I don't know why, but I was mentally combining Bugs Bunny and Taz Time Busters with Ratchet and Clank. So, yeah, unless we could do, a co-op playthrough of Ratchet and Clank Time Busters. Yeah, that's the game. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't think that exists.
No, but Ratchet and Clank, was it Stuck in Time or A Crack in Time? Does exist, but it's not co-op as far as I know.
Yeah, it's not co-op, and if I'm not mistaken, it's also literally the last one on the timeline.
I thought it was for, PS3, and there were some made for, PS4 and beyond.
Well, here's the thing. I thought that since that one, they've only been doing remakes, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, I thought there's a whole, new Ratchet and Clank game that came out for the PS4 and PS5.
Yeah, and I thought that was just a remake of the original. Because I think it was literally just called Ratchet and Clank.
So, yeah. So, who knows? Maybe I'll find some game to put just a ton of hours into, but I don't have one yet. It's not like I'm about to go and do another Dark Cloud challenge run. Although if some company could hurry up already and make Dark Cloud 3. I wish I could put into words exactly what I loved about the Dark Cloud games that other games just don't have, but I really do think it's the versatility that plays a huge role in it. Oh hey, you're going through the dungeons, fighting monsters and stuff. It's okay, that's enough. It's well, it's not like the game is saying, oh, well, that's enough fighting monsters. It's me saying, okay, well, I've had enough of just fighting monsters in random dungeons. Let's do something else. Well, okay, you can go build up the city. It's okay, let's, piece together the city, solve a pretty simplistic puzzle. It's okay, put, nose tree between two eye trees, put a river around it, put this person's house next to those trees, okay? Pretty simplistic puzzles. Generally speaking. And it's oh, well, it's okay, so we solved the puzzles. Well, how about let's go and recruit people? It's okay, cool. So who do we need to recruit? We need to go recruit the priest. Okay, let's go find the priest. What does the priest want us to do? Oh, look, solve a basic candle puzzle. It's like, okay, we can do that. It's like, oh, we need Sheriff Blinkhorn. Let's do... So it's like, oh, I'm bored of this. Let's do something else now. Okay, let's do that other thing. But we're still playing the same game.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I want to go and fight some monsters now. Cool, let's go back in the dungeon, do another floor or two. And then doing that unlocks more Giorama so we can go and do more building. And like the infinite money exploit in it, in other games, infinite money exploit makes the game not very fun to play because, you know, you just exploit your way into infinite money and then it's like, okay, cool, well, now what do I do? I don't have to work for any of my money anymore. But in Rune Factory, infinite money exploit doesn't feel like it just ruins the game. Because, like, okay, cool, now I don't have to grind for supplies. I can just build whatever houses and stuff I want. The actual, like, challenge of the game isn't grinding for money. The challenge is, you know, fighting monsters, and, well, you can't just buy the top-line weapon with just money. You can buy stuff to upgrade your weapons, eventually. But you still have to go and fight and get XP for them. You can't just buy a supernova with money. You could buy a supernova, but you need medals for it. You need like 40 medals. So who knows, maybe my next playthrough of Dark Chronicle will be get all medals playthrough. Although I hear that that's really frustrating to do because the speed medals in the underground, the water passage, the first dungeon, are really flippin' annoying to do.
I wonder. See, now that you're saying this, I now wonder if there's a particular. It would probably need to make use of some type of cheat device to do this, but make it so you don't gain experience on your weapons. So that you're always using only level 1 weapons.
That might be impossible.
Oh?
Theoretically, potentially. Because if you use a weapon that is severely underleveled, you don't do a minimum of 1 damage, you do a minimum of 0 damage.
Ooh, good point.
So, I mean, I'd have to run some numbers and calculations and stuff, but considering for the Underground Railway, you would have to use just the basic wrench and gun, because I don't think you can get another weapon without leveling them up. Until you reach the halfway point, then you get the ride pod. And with the ride pod, for sure, you can complete the Underground Railway. Underground Railway, Underground Waterway, whatever. You get onto a railway once you finish it. And then for the forest, you have Monica there. And I think, yeah, with Chapter 2, you can start buying higher tier weapons. So with the stuff you can buy, and with Monica's basic gear, you should be able to complete Chapter 2. And you should be able to 100% Chapter 2 and get the Jurak gun. And I think with the power of the Jurak gun, you should be able to complete Chapter 3. But, like, a challenge like this would, for the most part, be 100% a chapter to get the, like, end-tier weapon for it. Hope to get, like, diamonds and stuff once you unlock Sphera to, you know, upgrade the best weapon that you have access to. And then it's just go into dungeon, shoot an enemy 500 times to kill it, get the key and leave. So a lot of it would be just, hey, I am actually doing 1 damage, let's just... Or, I mean, assuming that the case would also be that Ride and Monster Transformation also can't get experience, then Ride will quickly become useless. And Monster Transformation will just always be useless. Except for specifically, you know, occasionally getting items.
Right.
Actually, the gem wand will at first be useful. I think you can use base level 1 Gemron for all of Chapter 3. Maybe. Or at least for a lot of it. Partway through Chapter 3, unlock Spheda, go get like a few diamonds and stuff. Like, you might be able to do it, but it would be very tedious. In addition to, of course, you'd have to modify the... Well, no, yeah, you'd have to modify the game. I was saying, it's like, well, you could just ignore the experience altogether, but you actually can't just ignore the experience. Ooh, knife set. Woohoo! Let's upgrade the kitchen. Now, Dark Cloud 1, no XP. Okay, Dark Cloud 1, no XP would just be, hey, go through the most recent dungeon you've unlocked over and over again until you can get a new weapon, and just start using that. Oh gosh, a Dark Cloud game, but no repair powder. I don't have a large kitchen, so I can't buy the oven. I'm guessing I need a large kitchen for the steamer too. Okay, well I bought half of the utensils there. Mayor, let me talk to you. Are you seriously just not available on the weekends? Oh, hello. Where's your dad? No, seriously, where's the mayor?
Now, when you say mayor, do you mean female horse or...
Mayor, the person who runs the town. Because the person who's supposed to run the town is not, like, in his house anymore. And I need to talk to him to get the thing to enter the next dungeon.
Oh. That sounds like a problem.
Yeah, I want to go into that dungeon and try to find somewhere that I can farm some easy XP. Oh, shoot. Yes, honey. Oh, don't mind me, just selling $23,000 worth of stuff to the doctor. I'm only 10 grand away from upgrading my house. Yo, Mayor. Nope. Where's the mayor? Spending a lot of valuable time. There you are. Oh, God. Well, I guess I can't get the stuff today either. He won't do business if he's not, in his office.
Well, I've now marked off the plots of land for the inner portion of the residential district.
Alright, that's a new overall plan. Just chop more lumber. Was it like 30 or 29? 38. 38. No, 20. Sorry. 28 stumps needed. Oh, also, while I was playing with my little brother yesterday, he introduced me to a new, very fun game. It's a co-op game, too.
Oh.
Yeah, Tour Room. A 1 to 2 player twin stick shooter. I think it would be like a roguelike type game. You go from room to room in a, randomly generated dungeon. And the rooms can have monsters in them, or they could have like a shop, or they could be treasure chests. Ultimately, you want to get money to get weapons and items, the items giving special power-ups. And then you go and like fight the boss of the first area to get to the second area, fight the boss second area to get to the third area, and then beat the third boss to beat the game. And like as you play, you unlock new characters. So you start off with like just a sword fighter, and then you can like unlock like a mage who has like higher magic but lower health. And some of the items are really interesting, but the issue is the game doesn't tell you what the items do until after you pick them up. And if you pick them up with the wrong character, oh well.
Makes me think of, what is it, Final Fantasy 12, where it's just like, there's like the best weapon in the game you cannot get unless you don't open over the course of the game 4 random chests, like 4 specific, seemingly random chests.
Oh?
Yes. It's a bizarre mechanic, but because that's the thing, in an RPG you think, oh yeah, open up every chest I find. But yeah, no, in this one, the best item in the game will appear in a chest, like in a room of chests, near the end of the game. But only if you have left these other 4 chests at random points in the world completely untouched.
Weird.
I know.
I played a game not too long ago that had almost a similar feature, except there it was early on an NPC tells you, hey, don't succumb to greed, don't open any golden chests.
See, that's the thing.
They tell you...
If it had given you a warning, then I'd say, it's more fair, like in the one you're saying.
Whoops. Wrong button. Let's go. Eat the thing. Yeah, and like the NPC tells you this before you open up your first golden chest. And then, like, late in the game, basically right before the final boss, you see the NPC again. If you've opened up any golden chests, she'll attack you. However, you have to beat her in combat and, like, take her room key off of her in order to get one of the items for 100% completion. However, you have to not open any chests and have her give you a different item for 100% completion. If you don't fight her, you can't go into her room. But if you do fight her, you don't get the other item.
So it's impossible to 100% the game.
Apparently.
Like, the only thing I can think is if you've done nothing, she gives you the thing, then you go and open chests, and then come back to her and fight her.
Oh, no. Once you've already reached the point of talking to her before the final boss, she tells you, "Oh, I see that you are able to not be greedy. It's okay if you want to go open up all those chests now. It's cool with me."
Oh, damn. Does the game have New Game Plus?
I'm not entirely certain. Because I don't remember exactly which game this was, but I do remember that I played through it twice, once not collecting any of the golden chests and once collecting all of them. And the golden chests don't really help you. It's like, hey, here's like a power-up item, but you can also get this legitimately not through a golden chest and it doesn't stack. Like, sure, it makes the game easier because you can get some power-up items early, but it's like, hey, look, this golden chest is like full health refill. It's like, oh, or I could go to the save spot 2 screens over for full health refill. Like, playing the game twice back to back, the golden chest didn't really help that much, I think.
Like, is there something that actually keeps track of 100% completion, or is that more just
Yes.
for the... Interesting. That's why I think there has to be some sort of New Game Plus thing.
I didn't really look into, like, too big, like, if you don't open any chests, then talk to the knight, and then find some way to still attack her anyway. If you could, like, then take the room key and get into the room or something. So there might be a way to get both, but it's weird that it doesn't seem like that there is. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, the item that you get from her for not opening any golden chests is, ironically or fittingly, the item that you need to get the golden ending.
Okay.
So, if a player, sees this warning early on and just decides, oh, screw you, I'm getting the golden chest, and it's like, all you did was fight me, and I still got your room key, so I still got, like, your item anyway, loser. You can't get the golden ending. If you open up any gold chests before basically the final boss, you can't get the golden ending. Oh well.
Interesting.
The game warned you.
You know what I wish games, like RPGs and stuff, had the option for? Open a chest and decide whether to take the contents. Like,
I mean,
it's such a simple little thing that it's almost strange that that's not standard.
I mean, most of the time, how would that help anything?
Well, for example, so many times, like it's like to the point where it has become sort of a meme in and of itself. You go to a chest and it's just like, oh, I'm already carrying as many of those as I can. Okay, the item is quote unquote, obtained and then destroyed.
Yeah.
It gets lost forever because you're already holding as many as you can.
You know what I kind of wish? In a similar vein?
Mm-hmm.
Just take the flippin' chest.
Like, just actually pick up the chest and take it with you?
Yes. Like, my character has a giant airship that has a crew of no less than 20 named characters. They can take an extra couple of chests so they can carry more than 9 Phoenix Downs.
Claire, I have a question. What's with these wooden platforms outside of the Emerald Arch? Were these just testing the appearance?
Yeah, just testing the appearance.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
You can remove all of those.
Okay.
And the sandstone things on the outside as well.
Stairs or something.
Now, I was really trying to tell the difference between oak slabs and petrified oak slabs. I couldn't tell the difference. Okay, so if we look at farm, still 23 to go. Although, speaking of games that I've played that had a really nice twist to them, one game, I think it was Momodoria, but I'm not 100% sure, because I might be getting it mixed up with a different game when it comes to the title, but it was a Metroidvania. It was, whatever, pretty classic Metroidvania fare. Nothing too extreme. But then after you beat the game, you unlock a sort of like a new game plus thing. It's like, hey, play through the game again, except play as a different character.
Yeah, that's kind of standard in Castlevania games, yes.
However, one of the options was to play as 3 of the bosses.
Wait, was this Shovel Knight?
No.
Because that sounds like Shovel Knight.
This was definitely not Shovel Knight. I haven't played very much Shovel Knight. I haven't been it yet. But it was...
Well, I don't know if that's technically... what do you call it? Like, as part of New Game Plus, or if that was DLC.
But yeah, so you play as 3 of the bosses. However, they all share the same body, so you have to swap between them. But they all have, like, different abilities. So instead of going the traditional way that you're kind of forced into going the first time you played through the Metroidvania, now you have to go along a different path. Because you don't have some of the abilities that the primary character had. Like, say the primary character had to run and jump across a gap. Well, like, one of your characters can run and one of them can jump, but none of them can run and jump. But there's some, like, stuff like that, right?
Right.
So you had to just kind of... So you played through in a different way, but when you got to the boss fight of one of those characters, that character gets taken away from you to act as the boss fight. So now you have to fight them using the other 2 characters.
Interesting.
Except for the third one of the 3, where its character doesn't get taken away because, according to the canon of the game, that character isn't the actual boss themselves.
Interesting.
The actual boss is just some random minion character that gets given the abilities of a boss fight. Not the actual character who should have been the boss fight.
Interesting.
And I think my favorite part of doing that whole, like, mini Let's Play series was, like, episode 1 titled, like, was, like, 2 in 1, because you had, like, 2 extra souls put into one body. Episode 2, when I did, like, the first and second of the specific boss fights, it was, like, 2v1, because it's, you know, 2 of the characters versus the other one. And then the reveal that 2 of the characters are actually sharing the third character's body, 2 in 1! And I just have... I just so happened to basically give them all the... effectively the same title. Because that was back when I actually did record for an hour, stop playing, title it, set it to upload, then continue playing.
Right.
Hey, Wolf. No.
You got a bone.
Look!
Exactly.
Yeah, one day I hope to have a whole proper recording set up and then just have like a stream deck, whatever, just hit the buttons like, woof!
What?
You know, stream deck, hotkeys, you can like play sound effects.
Oh, you want a soundboard?
Yeah, that thing.
I mean, we could probably set that up for you right now.
But I want it with like actual like physical buttons I can press and not just, oh, let me tab away from this game and like click this thing on the screen.
Oh, you want a... Okay, well, you want a physical soundboard device.
Yes.
Okay. I mean...
From what I heard, people usually use like stream decks for that. Okay.
I mean, there's lots of things you could use for that. You could get you like a little mini keyboard thing or something.
I'm sure, yes. Right. I don't think that I'm really making many friends in the,
With salad?
magic that...
Oh.
What?
With salad?
Oh, God, no. In one of the magic groups I'm in, of just, you know, go on, play some magic. At least play, like, casual Commander. Sometimes to get people together, you just chat, be friendly and stuff. It's like, oh, I really like what you did with that card. It really, makes it shine in a new light and stuff. But I almost feel, like, bad when I start, like, table stomping in the competitive Commander group. Like, I'm just there playing my colorless deck. And somehow, like, just yesterday I played a game where I basically just, like, was it, from turn 3, I was already, like, controlling the table, and on turn 4 I just went and won the game.
Right. I mean...
But it's like, this is CEDH. Winning on turn 3 is, like, to be expected. I could have won before my turn 4, but I didn't.
This is the competitive group. This
Yes.
is the group where, you know, you should be able to feel, you know, like you shouldn't feel guilty for winning.
Yes.
And yet they make you feel guilty for winning.
Well, they don't, like, say anything specific about it, but they just, like, oh yeah, good game, anyway, I gotta go. And not even good game, sometimes, it's just, oh, yeah, okay, you win, anyway, I have to go. Like, they just, like, disconnect. It's like, well, like, I feel bad for ruining that person's, like, one game experience, because apparently that's the only game they're gonna get today, and it was... They didn't get to have any fun, apparently, but it's like, also, CEDH, and not a single person had a counterspell. Except for me, the person playing colorless. Normally in Magic, like 99% of counterspells are blue, including all of the free counterspells that people can put in their commander decks. Free as in they don't cost any mana. And like, at least one of them was playing mono blue. Yeah.
Well, I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, oh yeah, it's almost time for the Jackbox. Yeah, checkbox.
Speaking of time, it's about time to end this episode.
Exactly. So we can go play Jackbox.
Ha 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 ha. I don't play games.